It's an interesting time for us GTA fans because we all know GTA 6 is being worked on. We all know, or we all hope that it's in its final-ish stages. Like, we all hope the game comes out within a year or two. And realistically, like, that's very possible because GTA 5 came out 6 or 7 years ago. So it's getting to the point where the next game should be coming out. And especially, we got the news yesterday that the PS5 is coming out next holiday season. There was the whole rumor that was pretty accurate regarding the PS5 that said GTA 5 or GTA 6 was going to be a launch title for that game. So we are all hoping and wanting information on GTA 6. But obviously, Rockstar are very secretive. They're not giving us anything officially. So naturally, we have to rely on leaks. And I made a video a couple of days ago mentioning GTA 6 leaks and if you should trust them. And basically what I came to the conclusion in that video was, for the most part, no, just because if it's too good to be true, or if it sounds like it's something you've always wanted, more than likely it's not real, it's fake. But I also mentioned in that video that over the next couple of months, maybe years or so, you'd be seeing a lot of fake GTA 6 map leaks. And we're actually going to be taking a look at one of them, and I do just want to start this video by saying this is probably not legit, although there are some pretty interesting clues that could potentially make it legit, but for the most part, I'm just going to say it's fake. However, it is such an interesting concept, an interesting design, that I thought it would be a really cool topic to discuss in today's video. So where this is coming from, there's actually two separate leaks that have the same map, which is what's interesting. So the first one actually is coming from last year, last December. This random Twitter account, this is the only tweet they have, 1985. They posted two imager links with the hashtag Vice City, hashtag GTA 6. And then those two pictures are this one, and it's a picture of what I assume, is the map, and it says 1985. And then there's a more zoomed out version of the map with a couple of other islands and some other interesting concepts and ideas. Then yesterday we got a separate leak from this random guy on Reddit. He apparently, and this is where the story starts falling apart, he like stole his friend's laptop or something and took a picture while his friend was in the bathroom. I don't know, you can kind of read it. But what's interesting is the picture of the map is almost identical to the one we just saw. Like, looking at it in the bigger picture here, you can see it's got the main island to the top left, smaller island to the right. You have the two medium islands in the middle, and then the bottom right, there's an island. Well, taking a look back at that map that was leaked from December of last year, it's basically the same concept. If you do look at them more in depth, there are some minor changes. So they're not 100% the same, but they are real similar. And that's really the only thing that you could argue that this makes it real. Because what are the odds that 10 months go by and two separate people have the same sort of map? Again, I am leaning towards this being fake just because if you do look at the map, it doesn't really look right, which is one of the things I want to get into. But also, referring to the video I made a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago, it just sounds too good to be true. 1985 Vice City. I don't know. I don't know if they'd actually go back to that. So that's another reason why I kind of think this is fake. Although it'd be kind of interesting because technically this would be in a new universe. It wouldn't be in that same universe with Tommy Vercetti and everyone else. And I believe 1985, that is a year, I think it's a year after Vice City, but then a year before Vice City Stories, or maybe it's the opposite. One of the games was in 1984, and then one of them was in 1986. So it would be interesting if they went back in time. But let's talk about these maps, because that's like the main point of this video. Number one, my first thought when I saw these maps was that there's no way it's real because just look at it. There's so much water on this map, and I don't know. I don't see that being the case for GTA 6. Now, one of the rumors is that GTA 6 is going to be Vice City, but then it's also going to have some sort of South American part of a map in the game as well. And if you think about that, then this map kind of makes sense. Like if they were to actually have Vice City and then some, whether it's South America or some other island way out there, you know, in the Caribbean or whatever, it wouldn't make much sense to have that island very close to Vice City. Like just geographically speaking, we all know Florida is not close to South America. So they would have to have some pretty major distance to make it somewhat realistic. And if you think about that, then this map kind of makes sense. And we also, it is hard to get a scale, right, from this map. Although someone did somewhat scale the map to Los Santos, what we have now. And if you look at it this way, you can see this would actually be a huge map. Like you may look at it with all the islands and all the water and think it would be small, but if you scaled it up to what we have now, just the island at the top left would be the same size as what we have now. And then you have those 2, 3, 4 extra little islands surrounding it. So that kind of would be very interesting. Another thought I had when I saw all the water, again, was that it's fake. But if I remember back to the Red Dead Redemption 2 map, when that got leaked, like 2 years prior to the game coming out, I think most of us, including myself, thought, that's way too much water. There's no way Rockstar would do that. And it turned out all of it was true. So it's not like Rockstar are against water. And it would be interesting to have the scale of these islands, because maybe you'd actually have to use planes and boats and stuff to get around. It would add a new dynamic to the game. And who knows, maybe you couldn't even fly to like all these islands. You just have to fast travel there in some way, shape, or form. Like you just take like a loading screen. Again, this is all just hypothetical, but it was an interesting sort of concept. And I wanted to ask you guys, would you like a map, like if we did go to Vice City, would you like a map like this where the main island, right, it's as big as what we have now, but then there's other smaller islands that are still relatively big in the grand scheme of things, but they were way further away? The more I think about it, I think I would actually really like this, especially if they added some stuff in between. I think that's like the compromise. If they just had what we see where the main island's at the top left, and you have a little smaller island somewhat close to it to the right, and then you just have some little small islands in the middle, and then you have the bigger island at the bottom right, I don't think that would work. However, if they had some kind of real small islands just scattered around, or oil rigs or something scattered around in the ocean, that would be kind of cool. If they had some actual life to the ocean, maybe you could even have like storms and stuff. I don't know how crazy things are going to get with the next gen hardware and systems and features, but that would be very interesting, I will say. Another thought I had regarding what we see, this is the up close view, and you can see the main city part is at that top left-ish part, and then everything else kind of just appears to be like a swampy sort of area, and that would make sense for Vice City. But it almost, if we go back to the bigger version of it, it's almost like it would be too swampy. I mean, you can see the gray areas. I would imagine that is where like the city part, the towns would be. So you do have a couple of towns, right? The main city at the top, you have a littler town on this like bay part. The bottom, there's just another smaller town. And I guess that makes sense if you just look at Los Santos, right? You have the main city, you have Paleto Bay, the top, and then you have Sandy Shores, the 3 main towns. It would make sense if there's 3 sort of main little towns. But I don't know if I would want to have the entire rest of the part some sort of swampy area. And it's not like you could really do mountains. There's not really any mountains in Florida. So it is mostly just flat, swampy area. Let me know in the comment section, looking at this map, what are your thoughts on it? Again, I think we all, for the most part, can agree this is fake. Although there's that 1% chance it's real, because the 2 people separately posted something very similar. But if this was the case, would you like this? Or would you like it to go back to the way it was, where the islands were all kind of right next to each other? Or do you like the way Los Santos is, where it's just one big island? For me, I like the multiple islands because you have actual uses for the like the boats and stuff in the water. In Los Santos, you really don't have much use for it because nothing really, the rivers don't interconnect, and it's kind of annoying. But if you had these islands back again, you could use that. You could use planes. I think things would be much more varied, which would be nice. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like I said, I saw this, thought it was an interesting topic to discuss while GTA 6 is on our minds. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. That's going to do it for this video. Please drop the video a like. If you did enjoy, subscribe for more GTA 6 content. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.